number 2, which is fertilization, is not possible either because sometimes they have an incompetent cervix when they don't produce a healthy egg. Women produce 1 egg a month, and sometimes some women are unable to do that. They cannot produce healthy egg. And in the advancement of medicine and medical science, they have the research, and there are solutions to this problem. And that's what I want to explain to you. There are things that can be done nowadays a step number 1, sexual intercourse. Step number 2, fertilization is not necessary anymore if a mother wants to conceive a baby. So, one thing that they do nowadays is what we call in-vitro fertilization, where the mother is given medicine, or it's called fertility drugs, to induce ovulation or to produce egg. And then followed by it could be injection or oral medication, where the villi, we call it the villi, it's part of her reproductive system that will aid in the expulsion of the egg, is being nourished and strengthened so that when the egg is ready, it will be released in a more effective way.
Amen.
So in vitro fertilization, that can be done. And then as the egg matures, they suck it out, put it in a dish or in a tube, hence the term test tube babies, which is the product of the in vitro fertilization. There's also in vivo, which is a little easier when step number 1 cannot be done. And what they do is they gather sperm cells from donors, and they just facilitate the fertilization of eggs in the mother's reproductive organ. In that case, the cervix for the fallopian tube. So, as the baby or as the egg develops, in case of in vitro fertilization, they put it in a dish, they put it in a conducive environment for the egg to fully mature until it's ready to be put in the mother's womb. Okay, so that's the process. When that's being done, any other process is being stopped at that point, normal pregnancy starts to begin. As soon as the baby is in the womb, that's it. In vitro fertilization, they wait until the baby grows and mature, and when it reaches, or he or she reaches full term, the baby can be delivered. While the baby is in the uterus, though, one of the slides show that the myth, it says the myth that the blood from the mother mixes with the infant's blood, and that is not true. Once the placenta is formed, that's around the 3rd or the 4th month of pregnancy. Once the placenta is formed, there is a separate pathway for the fetus's circulatory system and the mother's circulatory system. So one goes into the fetus, one goes into the mother. The fetus is solely dependent on the uterus. The nourishment, oxygenation, excretion of waste goes into the tube. It's called the fetal artery, and it diffuses into the mother's blood without ever mixing both the blood from the mother and the fetus. And it's true, that's a myth. It's a scientific fact that the blood of the fetus and the mother are separate. So with that being said, with the advancement of medicine, nowadays we can do in vitro, we can do in vivo fertilization, and it's possible to have a baby without the first step, second, third step. I think the point is, if human human being with human knowledge can do that nowadays. Our God of the universe, our Creator, isn't that possible for Him to do a divine